There's nothing quite like a perfect brioche burger bun. That deep golden crust, the soft buttery texture inside. It's the balance from eggs, depth from butter, and that slight chew that holds everything together. It's not just bread, it's what makes a burger next level. Fluffy, rich, buttery, exactly how it should be. And today, we're making it from scratch. No shortcuts, no compromises, just pure. So let's get into it and make brioche burger buns the right way. Let's get started. We begin with eggs, the key to a rich, tender brioche. Here I'm using 4 eggs weighing around 200 grams. Do you know? Brioche is made just like regular bread, but what makes it special, what makes it richer, is the extra eggs and butter. That's why it has this beautiful pale yellow color and an incredibly soft, delicate crumb. Crack all your eggs into a bowl and give them a good mix. Nothing fancy, just make sure they're well combined. Now we add 50 milliliters of milk, just a little. Because with all the eggs and butter in this dough, we don't need much extra liquid. This is what gives brioche that perfect balance. Rich, but still light. Next in goes the sugar and 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. Here, I'm using instant dry yeast, but don't worry, you can use active dry yeast or even fresh yeast. Whatever you have, it works. Mix everything together and let it sit for a few minutes until we finish our dry ingredients. This step allows the yeast to dissolve and blend into the mixture, setting up the dough for a light, even rise. For brioche, I'm using bread flour. This one has 12% protein, which helps build structure. But if you don't have bread flour, don't worry. You can use all-purpose flour, T55 or T65, anything. Just keep in mind, flour absorbs liquid differently, so you'll need to adjust as you need. Now add salt and mix everything together. Our dry and liquid ingredients are ready. Now it's time to knead the dough. Brioche is not your typical dough. To get that rich, buttery, incredibly soft crumb, you need longer kneading. And for that, a stand mixer is your best friend. Of course, you can knead by hand, but be prepared. This dough starts out sticky, wet, and a bit messy. It takes patience to bring it together. So let's start slow. Set the mixer to speed 1 or 2, just enough to combine everything. Now slowly pour in the liquid mixture while kneading. Brioche dough needs extra kneading time to develop the gluten properly. If the dough looks too soft and loose, sprinkle in 1 or 2 tablespoons of flour. If it looks too firm, add a bit more liquid. This balance is key to getting that perfect elasticity. Once all the liquid is in, increase the speed and knead for another 2 to 3 minutes. Stop and check. Does it feel right? If not, adjust. This dough should be soft and slightly sticky. That's exactly what we want because of all the eggs. Now here's where brioche gets interesting, butter, and we're adding a lot of it. Soft, room temperature butter, added gradually. This part matters. The butter needs to blend smoothly into the dough. If it's too cold, it won't incorporate well. If your kitchen is too warm, the butter might melt, making the dough greasy. Here's a tip. On a hot day, if you see oil on the surface, pause and refrigerate the dough for 10 to 15 minutes. This helps firm up the butter so it doesn't separate. As the butter mixes in, you'll notice something. The dough will feel loose and sticky at first, but don't worry. Keep kneading. Over time, it transforms into smooth, shiny, elastic dough. This is what makes brioche different from regular bread. Gluten develops in water, but butter slows that process down. That's why brioche dough needs extra time to let the gluten fully develop, even with all that butter working against it. This kneading process takes time. Timing might be different. It depends on your flour, room temperature, mixer speed, even the butter's softness. So don't focus on the clock, focus on the dough. And that's how you build the perfect foundation for soft, pillowy brioche. Now that our dough is ready, it's time to let it rise. Brioche is different from regular bread. It's rich, It's buttery, and because of that high-fat content, the rising time can vary, anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, depending on your kitchen temperature. Cold kitchen. If it's winter, place the dough inside the oven with just the light on, or if you can set your oven to 25 degrees Celsius, that's even better. It creates the perfect proofing environment. Warm kitchen. Keep an eye on it. The dough may rise faster than expected. Once it's puffed up and doubled in size, it's time to press it down gently. This releases excess gas, keeping the texture light and even. For perfectly uniform brioche buns, I use a kitchen scale to get equal portions. This step matters. Equal size means even baking, so every bun turns out just right. Roll each piece into a smooth, tight ball. This isn't just for looks. It creates structure, so the buns rise beautifully in the oven. Take your time here. A well-shaped bun makes all the difference. Once shaped, place them on a lined baking tray. Cover them and let them proof until they've doubled in size. If the dough rises too much, it will collapse in the oven. Instead of soft, airy brioche, you'll end up with a dense texture and a strong, yeast-like flavor. This is the moment where everything comes together. The final proofing step determines that light, fluffy, melt-in-your-mouth texture. Watch the dough, trust the process, and once it's just right, it's time to bake. First, preheat your oven to 170 degrees Celsius, 340 degrees Fahrenheit. Give it time to fully heat up. While the oven getting right temperature, let's do the final touch. Egg wash. This is what gives brioche that beautiful, glossy finish. Without it, the buns will look dull, almost dry. A simple step, but it makes all the difference. Lightly brush it over each bun. Go easy here. Too much egg wash can drip down the sides and affect the rise. Just a thin, even coat. Now, for a little extra texture, white sesame seeds. Sprinkle them on top and right away, these buns start looking bakery perfect. Now, into the oven they go. Bake for about 20 minutes or until they turn a deep golden brown. Every oven is different, so keep an eye on them in those last few minutes. And there it is. Soft, golden, bakery-style brioche buns. The perfect base for any burger, light, buttery, and full of flavor. Now it's your turn. Make them, taste them, and let me know how they turn out. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more. More recipes, more tips, and more incredible bakes coming your way. See you in the next one.